Imagine looking in the mirror at 79 years old and seeing the face and body of a man in his early 40s. Sounds impossible, right? At that age, most men are hunched over, battling joint pain, slowing down, and watching their health fade away. But Robbie Robinson, known to the bodybuilding world as the Black Prince, has defied nature itself. At 79, he still carries muscle density, skin tightness, and energy levels that make people ask, how old did you say he was again? His secret isn't plastic surgery, it isn't a miracle supplement, and it isn't just good genetics. It's something much simpler. He gave up 8 foods. Stay with me, because you will be shocked when we reveal exactly what keeps him looking 40 years younger at the end of this video. Who is Robbie Robinson? To understand why Robbie Robinson's story matters, you need to know where he came from. Born in 1946 in Georgia, Robbie started bodybuilding at a time when the sport was entering its golden era. He would go on to stand shoulder to shoulder with legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, and Lou Ferrigno. Robbie's nickname, the Black Prince, came from his stage dominance. His physique wasn't just big, it was art. Wide shoulders, a narrow waist, full muscle bellies, and flawless posing. He won Mr. America, Mr. Universe, and Mr. World. He was part of the golden age that made bodybuilding what it is today. But here's the shocking part. While many of his peers aged dramatically, gray hair, sagging skin, shrinking muscle, Robbie Robinson still looks decades younger. And the reason is his refusal to poison his body with the wrong foods. The 8 foods Robbie Robinson gave up. Number 1, refined sugar. For most people, sugar is an everyday indulgence. Cakes, sodas, candy bars. But Robbie Robinson saw it as a trap. He cut it completely. Why? Because sugar accelerates aging faster than almost anything else. It causes glycation, a process that breaks down collagen in the skin, leading to wrinkles and sagging. It spikes insulin, promotes fat storage, and leaves you drained with energy crashes. Robbie once admitted he saw friends his age eating cakes and sweets at celebrations. He politely refused. He knew one moment of pleasure wasn't worth years of damage. Instead, he turned to natural sweetness. Blueberries, bananas, apples. These gave him antioxidants and fiber instead of empty calories. Look at his skin today. Tight, vibrant, decades younger than men half his age. That's the power of living sugar-free. Number 2, processed meats. Bacon sizzling on a pan, sausages at a summer barbecue, hot dogs at sporting events. These are staples of the average diet. Robbie Robinson said no to all of them. Processed meats are filled with nitrates, sodium, and preservatives that damage the arteries, raise blood pressure, and increase cancer risks. Most men his age who ate bacon and sausages daily are now dealing with clogged arteries and fragile health. Robbie chose lean, whole protein. Chicken breast, salmon, tuna, and beans. He turned away from convenience and chose longevity. While his peers slowed down, Robbie's muscles stayed strong and his heart kept pumping like a younger man's. Number 3, fried foods. Crispy fried chicken, golden French fries, onion rings, temptations we all know. Robbie Robinson never touched them. He called fried foods slow death. Why? Because frying destroys the quality of oils, creating trans fats that inflame the body, stiffen blood vessels, and increase cholesterol. Over time, they clog your system like grease in a drain. Robbie's peers from the golden era, some indulged in fried food after retirement, thinking they could relax. Today, they walk slower, ache constantly, and carry extra weight. Robbie, he still trains, he still moves. Because he chose grilled, baked, or steamed foods flavored with herbs instead of frying oil, that discipline shows in his joints, his energy, and his sharpness. Number 4, dairy. Cheese on burgers, milk in cereal, creamy desserts. Robbie Robinson gave them up decades ago. Dairy wasn't helping his body. It was inflaming it. For many, dairy triggers bloating, acne, and indigestion. For athletes, it can clog up digestion and slow recovery. Robbie recognized this early. Instead of forcing milk and cheese into his diet, he switched to plant alternatives: almond milk, oat milk, and calcium-rich greens. It's why his stomach remains flat, not bloated. It's why his skin has stayed clear. And it's why his digestion never held him back. Number 5, alcohol. In an era when drinking was common at parties and celebrations, Robbie Robinson stood apart. He refused alcohol completely. He watched friends his age unwind with whiskey, beer, and wine. But he knew better. Alcohol dehydrates the body, wrecks the liver, slows muscle recovery, and drains testosterone. It makes skin sag and ages the face rapidly. Robbie never gave in. He chose water, herbal teas, and clean hydration. At 79, while many of his peers look worn out and drained, he still radiates life. That glow comes from a body that never had to fight off alcohol's poison. Number 6, white bread and refined carbs. White bread, pastries, pizza crusts, these are comfort foods, but for Robbie Robinson, they were the enemy. Refined carbs act just like sugar. They spike blood sugar, promote fat storage, and leave you feeling sluggish. Robbie cut them completely. Instead, he ate oats, sweet potatoes, quinoa, and brown rice. These complex carbs fueled his training sessions and gave him steady energy without crashes. At 79, his metabolism is still strong. His peers who lived on white bread and pasta, many are overweight, sluggish, and diabetic. Number 7, artificial sweeteners and processed snacks. Sugar-free snacks, diet sodas, energy bars. Many people think they're healthy, but Robbie Robinson never fell for it. Artificial sweeteners confuse the brain, disrupt gut health, and trigger more cravings. Processed snacks are loaded with chemicals the body doesn't recognize. Robbie called them fake foods, and he avoided them like poison. He chose nuts, fruits, seeds, and fresh vegetables instead, whole foods that nourished his body rather than tricking it. That's why he never yo-yo dieted. He never fought constant cravings. His body stayed lean, controlled, and youthful. Number 8, excess salt. Salt is sneaky. It hides in chips, frozen dinners, sauces, and snacks. Robbie Robinson knew that too much sodium raises blood pressure, bloats the face, and stresses the heart. He cut down heavily. Instead of processed salty foods, he seasoned naturally with garlic, pepper, lemon, and herbs. This kept his meals flavorful but safe. It's why his face isn't puffy at 79. It's why his veins are still visible, his heart still strong, and his blood pressure steady. Robbie Robinson versus his peers. Here's where it gets dramatic. Robbie Robinson isn't the only legend from the golden era. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, Lou Ferrigno, they all defined bodybuilding in the 70s. But compare their aging. Arnold, despite being an icon, has clearly aged into his late 70s. Lou Ferrigno looks his years. Franco passed away young. Meanwhile, Robbie Robinson, at 79, still shocks audiences with how young he looks. The difference? Consistency. While others allowed foods and habits to creep in, Robbie stayed disciplined. He didn't bend, he didn't compromise, and it shows every time you see him today. So here's the real question. Can simply cutting out 8 foods really be the difference between looking your age or looking 40 years younger? Or is Robbie Robinson living proof that discipline is the real fountain of youth, the power of consistency? The real secret isn't just the foods, it's the consistency. Anyone can quit sugar for a week, anyone can stop drinking for a month, but Robbie Robinson did it for decades. He didn't treat it like a short-term diet. He treated it as a lifelong commitment. That's why his results look impossible. He built habits, he stuck to them, and he never looked back. That's why time itself seems to have forgotten him. How you can apply this? Robbie Robinson isn't superhuman. He just made decisions that anyone could make. You don't have to quit all 8 foods tomorrow. Start with 1. Replace soda with water, swap white bread for oats, bake your chicken instead of frying it. Over time, the results will compound, and years later, you'll thank yourself the same way Robbie Robinson thanks himself today. The shocking reveal? Here's what truly shocks people. Robbie Robinson had every reason to slow down. He could have given in to temptation, like so many of his peers, but he didn't. At 79, instead of sitting in a chair with weak bones and fading energy, he still trains, still inspires, and still looks decades younger. And it's all because he gave up 8 foods that most people still eat every day. That's not genetics, that's not luck, that's discipline. If Robbie Robinson can look 40 years younger at 79 by cutting out 8 foods, then what's your excuse? What's stopping you from making just one change today? The man who once competed with Arnold Schwarzenegger is now competing with time itself, and he's winning. So let me ask you, out of the 8 foods Robbie Robinson gave up, which one would be the hardest for you to let go of? Sugar, fried food, alcohol? Drop your answer in the comments below. I want to hear your struggles. And if this story inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because we've got more shocking routines and secrets from legendary athletes coming your way. Remember, age doesn't have to defeat you. With discipline, you can rewrite time itself.